The first light, awakening your inner fortress. Imagine this. The sun has not yet broken the horizon, the air is crisp, the world is silent, and you are already awake. Not dragging yourself out of bed because you have to, but rising because you've chosen to. Your morning is not an accident, it is a weapon, a shield, a sacred ritual that prepares you to face whatever the day will throw at you. Most people start their mornings in chaos, hitting snooze 5 times, rushing through breakfast, scrolling through notifications before they've even taken a deep breath. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, distracted, and reactive all day long. The truth? Your mornings dictate your life. The Stoics understood this long before self-help books and productivity hacks became trendy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, would write in his journal before sunrise, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This wasn't just poetic reflection, it was mental armor. The first ritual is not coffee. It's not checking your to-do list. It's awakening your inner fortress, the state of mind where you are unshakable, no matter what storms arrive. The moment you open your eyes, you have a choice. Will you let the world dictate your mood, or will you set the tone yourself? Step 1. Rise with purpose. Your alarm rings. Don't negotiate with it. Don't start the mental bargaining, just 5 more minutes. Those 5 minutes are not harmless, they're the first act of surrender. The Stoics would call this the moment of decision, the point where discipline is either built or broken. Instead, rise as if you've been summoned to something important. Because you have. Your own life. When you wake with purpose, you send yourself a silent but powerful message: I am in control. I do not live by default, I live by design. That one act changes the way you carry yourself for the rest of the day. Step 2. Claim the silence. Before you speak to anyone, before the digital noise floods in, claim a moment of pure silence. This is your mind's training ground. The world will soon demand your attention, but right now, you are the commander. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity, in the quiet of the morning. They would imagine potential challenges and rehearse their response. Not to fear them, but to greet them calmly when they arrived. Ask yourself, if I face criticism today, will I be grounded or shaken? If plans collapse, will I adapt or complain? If something I love is taken from me, will I crumble or endure? These are not just questions, they are mental weights that strengthen your inner resilience. Why this matters for becoming unshakable. If you think mornings are just a small part of your day, you've misunderstood the battlefield. The first hour is where the fight for control begins. Lose it, and you'll spend the rest of the day reacting instead of leading. Win it, and you'll carry a quiet strength that others can feel but can't explain. So tomorrow, when you open your eyes, don't just wake up. Rise like a Stoic. Rise like a warrior. Rise with the knowledge that this first ritual, claiming your morning, is the foundation for an unshakable life. The cold edge, inviting discomfort first thing in the morning. Most people spend their entire lives chasing comfort, the warm bed, the hot shower, the soft couch. And yet, deep down, they know, comfort has made them weaker. The more comfortable you are, the more fragile you become. The Stoics knew this truth 2,000 years ago. That is why the second morning ritual is not about indulging yourself, it's about choosing discomfort before the day chooses it for you. Let's talk about the cold. Imagine stepping into a cold shower before sunrise. The water bites at your skin, your breath quickens, and every fiber of your body screams, "Get out." This is not torture, this is training. Marcus Aurelius didn't have cold showers, but he had harsh winters, military campaigns, and constant political storms. He reminded himself daily, do not pray for an easy life, pray to be strong enough to endure a hard one. Choosing a voluntary discomfort in the morning sends your brain a powerful message: I do hard things by choice, not just by necessity. The psychology of inviting discomfort. When you willingly face something uncomfortable, you flip the script in your mind. Instead of life being something that happens to you, you become the one who takes the first strike. Cold water, an early workout, a run before breakfast, even just 5 minutes of meditation while sitting perfectly still in an uncomfortable position. The practice here is simple. Start your day by doing something that isn't easy. Why? Because it conditions you to face everything else with less fear. If you've already conquered discomfort before the rest of the world is even awake, you've proven to yourself that you can handle far more than you think. Building a Stoic armor through voluntary hardship. The Stoics practiced what they called premeditatio malorum, imagining misfortune so they would not be caught off guard. But they also believed in practicing small hardships regularly. Seneca wrote about sleeping on the floor for a few nights or wearing simple, rough clothes just to remember, we can survive without luxury. When you start your day with a challenge, you are building mental calluses. The cold water doesn't just strengthen your body, it strengthens your will. The early workout doesn't just train your muscles, it trains your discipline. And here's the truth, most people avoid discomfort until it's forced upon them. Then, when life inevitably throws them into hardship, they break. But if you have faced difficulty every morning on your own terms, life's punches feel lighter. A challenge for you tomorrow morning. Ask yourself this tonight. What is one thing I can do tomorrow morning that will make me uncomfortable, but stronger? It doesn't need to be extreme, it just needs to push you past your comfort zone. When you feel your mind resisting, remember, resistance is the sign you are on the right path. The Stoics didn't run from discomfort, they stepped into it willingly, because they understood that strength is not built in moments of ease, but in moments of trial. So tomorrow, don't just wake up, face the cold edge. Walk into the discomfort before the world hands it to you. And when you step out of it, dripping water or breathless from exertion, you'll know you have already won the first battle of the day. The Power Hour, guarding your first moments like gold. If the first minutes of your day are the foundation, why would you let someone else decide how they are built? Think about it. Most people wake up and instantly hand over their attention to the world. Emails, notifications, breaking news, other people's problems. Without even realizing it, they've surrendered their mind before they've even had coffee. The Stoics would have called this a tragedy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. If the first thing you see in the morning is chaos, you're programming your mind to live in reaction mode all day. But if you guard your first hour, you set the tone for strength, clarity, and focus. Why your first hour is sacred. Your brain wakes up in a unique state, quiet, unpolluted, highly receptive. The things you do in that fragile window seep deeper into your subconscious than at any other time. This is why starting your day with intention is like planting seeds in rich soil. What you plant grows fast. The Stoic approach. Use this time to fortify your mind before the world has a chance to weaken it. Whether it's meditation, journaling, stretching, or a slow, deliberate breakfast, these are not wasted minutes. They are investments in the mental armor you will wear for the battles ahead. Building a personal fortress of focus. Imagine your first hour as a fortress. The walls are high, and nothing gets in unless you allow it. No social media. No emails. No endless scrolling. Instead, fill it with deliberate rituals. Gratitude practice. Name 3 things you are thankful for. Visualization. Picture the kind of person you want to be today. Purpose reminder. Read a line from a Stoic text or your own journal. It doesn't matter if you only have 20 minutes or a full hour. What matters is the quality of that time and the fact that you own it completely. The enemy, distraction before sunrise. The truth is, distraction is not just a thief of time, it is a thief of energy. Every notification, every headline, every useless scroll through your feed eats away at your emotional stability. The Stoics understood the cost of attention. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. When you give your attention to the trivial first thing in the morning, you are letting someone else choose your mental state. And here's the harsh truth. Most of what you see online in those first minutes is designed to trigger you: fear, anger, envy. Do you really want that to be the first taste of your day? Your challenge: guard the gate. Tonight, decide on one thing you will do tomorrow to protect your first hour. It might be leaving your phone in another room. It might be writing in your journal before speaking to anyone. It might be stepping outside for a few minutes to breathe the morning air in silence. Ask yourself, if my mind is my most valuable asset, why do I give it away so cheaply? Tomorrow, keep it. Protect it. Build strength in it. Because once you start the day grounded, unshaken, and clear-headed, the rest of the day bends to your rhythm, not the other way around. When you master your mornings, you master your life. And when you guard your first hour, you are quietly telling the world, this day belongs to me. The Stoic practice of movement before the world wakes. Before the world even opens its eyes, you can already have a victory. And it doesn't have to be massive. You don't need to run a marathon at dawn or lift twice your body weight before sunrise. But you do need to move. The Stoics were not only philosophers of the mind, they understood the body as an essential part of a disciplined life. Musonius Rufus, a Roman Stoic often overshadowed by Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, taught that physical training was not about vanity, but about resilience. A strong body supports a strong mind, especially when life tests you. Why morning movement matters. When you move early in the day, you are sending your brain a signal: I am awake, I am ready, I am capable. You push blood through your body, you feed oxygen to your brain, and you shake off the heaviness of sleep. But more importantly, you train yourself to do something hard before the day gives you permission. Think about this. How many days have you said to yourself, I'll work out later, only to let the hours slip by until it never happens? Morning removes that excuse. It locks in discipline before life can distract you. The Stoic way of physical training. The Stoics didn't have gyms full of chrome machines. Their training was often practical, walking long distances, lifting heavy objects, practicing with weapons, or even just enduring the cold. The point wasn't to look strong, but to be strong, ready to endure discomfort without complaint. For you, this might mean a short jog, a bodyweight circuit in your living room, yoga in the quiet before sunrise, or even a brisk walk outside. What matters is consistency. Epictetus famously said, "No great thing is created suddenly." Your resilience is built in small, repeated acts. Turning movement into a ritual. The danger with exercise is that it can easily become a maybe. Something you'll get to if you have time. The Stoic approach is to make it non-negotiable, a part of your identity, not just your schedule. Put your workout clothes next to your bed the night before. Choose something so simple you can't talk yourself out of it. Focus on showing up, not perfection. When you strip away the decision-making and make movement automatic, you free your willpower for bigger challenges later in the day. Ask yourself this. If you can't push your body for even 10 minutes in the quiet of the morning, how will you endure the heavier burdens life throws at you? If you shy away from small discomforts, how will you stand firm when the storms arrive? Your morning movement is not about burning calories, it's about forging unshakable discipline. And when you move before the world wakes, you carry that silent victory into every conversation, every meeting, every challenge. You have already proven to yourself, I do not wait for strength, I create it. The power of cold and discomfort in the morning. Most people wake up chasing comfort, a warm bed, a hot shower, soft clothes, coffee within reach. But the Stoics knew a truth most of us avoid. Comfort is addictive. Discomfort is transformative. Seneca advised, set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, is this the condition that I feared? Why? Because when you train your body and mind to handle discomfort on purpose, you rob fear of its power over you. Why start your day with discomfort? In the morning, your mind is fresh, your willpower is untapped, and it's the perfect time to test it. This is not about punishment, it's about building a kind of inner armor. When you begin your day by facing something you'd rather avoid, everything after feels easier. That's why so many high performers, from ancient warriors to modern entrepreneurs, begin their mornings with deliberate discomfort. It could be a cold shower, a fasted workout, or even stepping outside into the brisk morning air without a coat. The Stoic benefits of discomfort. Mental toughness. Each time you do something uncomfortable and survive, you prove to yourself that your limits are further than you thought. Detachment from pleasure. You stop needing constant comfort to function. Presence. Cold, hunger, physical strain. They pull you into the now. No overthinking, no drifting. Just pure awareness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Discomfort reminds you of that power. The cold water doesn't change, but your mind can choose not to flinch. How to incorporate discomfort in your morning. Cold showers. Start with 30 seconds and increase over time. Minimalist morning. Skip the coffee, skip breakfast, and see how your body truly feels. Physical challenge. Do push-ups until your muscles burn before your mind has time to complain. The point isn't to suffer. The point is to show yourself that you can choose discomfort when you could have chosen ease, and still move forward. Ask yourself this. If you can't handle a minute of cold water, how will you handle a year of financial struggle? If you can't push through 10 push-ups when you're tired, how will you push through life when it feels impossible? Your morning edge. Most people will wake up and chase comfort. You will wake up and sharpen yourself. By the time they've had their coffee, you've already conquered a battle within. That is how unshakable mornings are built, not by avoiding discomfort, but by seeking it until it becomes your ally. Mastering the morning through stillness. In a world obsessed with constant movement, the ability to be still is becoming a rare superpower. The Stoics understood that before you can direct the day, you must first direct yourself. And that requires a pause, a deliberate, intentional moment where nothing happens on the outside, but everything happens on the inside. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings not by rushing into action, but by preparing his mind. He wrote in Meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Why stillness first? Because the mind you wake up with is raw and unguarded. If you let it be hijacked by emails, notifications, and other people's demands, you start the day as a passenger, not the driver. Stillness is the act of taking the steering wheel. It allows you to set your own emotional tone before the world sets it for you. Observe your thoughts without getting pulled into them. Strengthen your ability to focus in a distracted age. How to practice morning stillness. You don't need incense or an hour-long meditation session. The Stoics weren't about rituals for ritual's sake, they were about results. Here's a simple way to do it. Sit somewhere quiet, ideally by natural light. Breathe slowly, in through the nose, out through the mouth, for a count of 4 each way. Observe whatever thoughts come. Don't chase them, don't push them away. Just watch. Ask yourself, what truly matters today? 5 to 10 minutes of this can change the entire course of your day. The Stoic advantage. When you begin with stillness, challenges don't catch you off guard. You've already seen the battlefield in your mind. You're less reactive, more deliberate. That means when someone tries to provoke you, your response is calm, not because you suppressed anger, but because you never let it ignite in the first place. The question for you. If you can't be still for 5 minutes, how will you stay composed in a crisis? If you can't control your attention when nothing is happening, how will you control it when everything is falling apart? Why it makes you unshakable. Every battle is won before it is fought. Stillness in the morning is your strategy meeting with yourself. It's where you align your actions with your values, so that no matter what happens later, you remain anchored. By the time you rise from that chair, the world hasn't changed, but you have. And that's all the Stoics ever needed to win the day. The power of physical readiness. The Stoics believed the mind and body were not separate kingdoms, they were partners in the same mission. Marcus Aurelius trained not just his thoughts, but his physical endurance. Epictetus reminded his students that a disciplined body supports a disciplined mind. If you wake up and go straight into action without preparing your body, you're walking into battle with a dull sword. A morning ritual of physical readiness sharpens that sword every day. Why movement matters for the mind. Modern science confirms what the Stoics intuited centuries ago. Physical movement wakes up your nervous system, releases endorphins, and primes your focus. But for the Stoics, it wasn't about getting fit in the Instagram sense. It was about resilience. A body that can endure physical stress is a body that can help the mind endure mental stress. If your legs have carried you through sprints, your lungs have handled heavy breathing, and your muscles have resisted fatigue, then facing a tough conversation or a long day feels less intimidating. How to practice morning physical readiness. This doesn't mean you need a full gym session at 5 a.m. The Stoics would tell you to make it practical, sustainable, and challenging. Here's a simple formula. Stretch, awaken joints and muscles. Imagine you are preparing the machine for a day of work. Activate bodyweight squats, push-ups, or a quick yoga flow to get blood moving. Elevate 1 to 3 minutes of more intense movement, jumping jacks, sprints in place, or shadowboxing. Breathe, finish with slow, deep breaths to signal readiness, not exhaustion. The Stoic edge in movement. The Stoics embraced discomfort because they knew life would force it upon them anyway. A cold morning run or a tough workout is voluntary hardship. It trains you to choose challenge rather than avoid it. When the mind sees you willingly step into difficulty before the day even begins, it learns a powerful lesson. We are the kind of person who does not back down. The question for you. If you avoid discomfort in the controlled safety of your morning, what makes you think you'll face it well when the world throws it at you without warning? Why this makes you unshakable? Physical readiness gives you an unfair advantage in a chaotic world. It's not just about fitness, it's about proving to yourself that you can take action, even when it's hard. And when your body and mind are aligned in that belief, the day has fewer surprises that can break you. By the time you finish, you don't just feel awake, you feel prepared. And for the Stoic, that's everything. Morning mental training, sharpening the mind before the world tests it. The Stoics understood that the mind, just like the body, requires daily conditioning. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for the world to test him, he tested himself in his own thoughts before stepping into the day. If you don't take control of your thinking early in the morning, someone else will. The news will do it. Social media will do it. Other people's complaints and emotions will do it. A Stoic morning begins with you deciding how you will think, feel, and act before the outside noise has a chance to shape you. The Stoic practice of mental rehearsal. Seneca spoke of premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils, a mental exercise where you calmly imagine possible challenges for the day. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. When you visualize potential setbacks before they happen, you reduce their power to surprise or overwhelm you. Ask yourself, what situations today might test my patience? What temptations might pull me away from my values? If someone criticizes me, how will I respond with calm instead of anger? By answering these before you walk out the door, you've already faced them once in your mind. The second time, in reality, is much easier. Mental conditioning rituals for the morning. The Stoic way doesn't require hours of meditation, it requires intention. Here are some options you can combine. Journaling. Write 3 short notes, what you're grateful for, what your main focus is today, and what challenge you're prepared to meet. Stoic reflection. Read a single passage from Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus and think about how it applies to your life right now. Affirmed principles. Repeat a short statement that aligns with your values. I will act with courage and patience today. Focused breathing. Spend 2 to 3 minutes breathing deeply, imagining you are inhaling strength and exhaling distraction. Why the morning is the best time for mental training. In the early hours, your mind is fresh, not yet cluttered with demands, arguments, or notifications. It's the ideal time to plant the seeds of the mindset you want for the day. A distracted morning leads to a distracted day. A trained morning leads to a day of focus, intention, and resilience. The challenge for you. Do you want to live each day reacting to events like a leaf blown by the wind, or do you want to be the one holding the rudder, steering your ship? How this makes you unshakable. By starting your day with deliberate mental training, you are not just preparing for the best-case scenario, you are building the resilience to handle the worst-case scenario without losing your center. When others are thrown into chaos by surprise problems, you'll be ready, calm, and steady. Emotional anchoring. Staying calm no matter what the morning brings. The moment you wake up, the world is already pulling at your emotions. A message from work. A headline designed to make you angry. A sudden memory of something you regret. If you allow these early moments to hijack your emotions, your day is no longer yours. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Your emotions are not in the control of the world unless you give them that control. The Stoic anchor. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Your emotional anchor is the practice that keeps you grounded, no matter what storm hits. For some, it's a phrase repeated in silence, "I choose calm." For others, it's a deep breath before reacting. The key is to have a default reaction to any emotional spike, something automatic that centers you. How to build your emotional anchor. Pick your centering phrase. Choose words that resonate deeply. Examples. I will not be moved. Calm is my strength. This will pass. Link it to your breath. As soon as you feel an emotion spike, inhale slowly. Repeat the phrase in your mind. Exhale slower than you inhaled. Practice on small things. If you can stay calm when your coffee spills, you're building the muscle to stay calm when bigger storms hit. Morning application. Right after waking up, before checking any device, take 1 minute to practice your emotional anchor. Imagine a stressful scenario and use your anchor to stay steady. This emotional rehearsal trains your nervous system to react with calm in real life. Why this makes you unshakable. The difference between someone who is shaken by life and someone who remains steady is not the absence of problems, it's the presence of a practiced response. By setting your emotional tone early, you don't just protect your morning, you protect your entire day. A question to challenge you. When was the last time you lost your peace over something small? How much power are you giving away each time you let an external event control your emotions? And what would your life look like if nothing could easily shake you? The morning commitment, owning your day before it owns you. Most people wake up and drift into their day like a boat without a rudder, pushed in every direction by other people's demands, the latest news, or their own wandering mind. But if you truly want to be unshakable, your mornings cannot be accidents. They must be a deliberate choice. The power of a morning vow. The Stoics began each day with a mental commitment, a vow to live according to their values, no matter what happened. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself of the kind of people he would meet, selfish, angry, dishonest, and yet promise himself to remain virtuous and calm. Your own vow can be simple but powerful. Today I will not waste time on what I cannot control. I will speak only what adds value. I will keep my peace no matter the chaos. By declaring your intention before life tests you, you set the boundaries of your mental world. How to make it a ritual. Write it down. Each morning, physically write your daily commitment in a notebook. The act of writing makes it real. Speak it out loud. Use your own voice to reinforce it. Let your ears hear your own determination. Visualize the day ahead. Imagine yourself encountering challenges and living up to your vow. This mental rehearsal builds the confidence to follow through. Why it works. When you make this vow daily, you stop reacting blindly and start responding intentionally. You begin the day with a clear compass, and no matter what storms come, you return to that commitment. The day no longer happens to you, you shape it. A question to challenge you. If you don't own your morning, who does? Are you letting strangers on the internet decide your mood? Or will you take back control by deciding how you will think, speak, and act before the first challenge even arrives? Your next step. Right now, take 60 seconds and create your morning vow. Write it down. Tomorrow, speak it before you check your phone, drink your coffee, or answer a single message. And when you feel tempted to complain, react, or give in, return to that vow. You have walked with me through the morning, one decision at a time, and now we arrive at the quiet place where practice becomes identity. This is the moment after the lesson when the world is still, when you can hear your own heartbeat, when you understand that strength is not a shout but a steady breath. The aim of these rituals was never perfection. The aim was a life that you can carry with calm hands even when the day is heavy. If your mornings change, your afternoons follow, and by evening you recover a steadiness that no noise can steal. Picture the next dawn before it arrives. The room is dim. The air is cool. You sit up without bargaining with the alarm. You let your feet touch the floor as if greeting the earth with respect. You breathe in and count a gentle rhythm inside your chest. No screens. No noise. Only a simple promise spoken inwardly. Today I will choose what is within my command. Today I will leave the rest to pass like clouds. You reach for a notebook and write a few clear lines. You name the person you want to be before you name the tasks you need to do. You remember that character is built in plain moments that no one else will ever see. You pour a glass of water and feel how ordinary care becomes sacred when you give it your full attention. You make your bed as if you are setting a stage for the kind of day you expect to perform. Small moves. Quiet mastery. Of course the world will still bring its storms. Someone will be unkind. A plan will fall apart. You may feel the old rush of worry moving through your body like a fast river. Here is where the training holds. You pause before you speak. You notice the story your mind wants to tell and you soften it. You ask a kinder question. What is mine to do? What can I accept without resistance? What lesson hides inside this moment that looks like trouble? Every pause is a doorway. Step through it and you will find a room with more air. Let your mornings become a shelter where you repair your inner roof. Read a page that lifts your sight. Sit for a short while with your breath and treat the wandering mind not as an enemy but as a guest that will settle when greeted with patience. Move your body in a way that wakes strength without vanity. Walk, stretch, hold a plank long enough to remember that effort and ease can live in the same minute. Simplicity is not a downgrade. Simplicity is power you can repeat. There is a truth we avoid because it feels severe. Days are limited. The exact number is hidden, and that is a gift. When you rise with that awareness, pettiness loses its grip. You waste less time on comparisons and old arguments. You offer thanks for small mercies, for warm water, for a kind message, for the way light folds across a wall. Gratitude is not a sentimental slogan. Gratitude is a discipline. It sharpens attention. It turns ordinary hours into a field where meaning grows. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You need to return to yourself each morning. Keep a modest promise. Drink water before coffee. Step outside for a minute of open sky. Speak gently to the people in your home. Place one hard task at the front of the day and finish it with clean focus. When you drift, begin again without drama. Beginning again is not a failure. Beginning again is the whole method. There will be days when you fall short. You will oversleep. You will break your plan. You will speak with edge when you meant to speak with care. Do not build a prison out of that moment. Note it. Learn from it. Repair quickly. The sun will rise again and you will have another chance to practice. Let mercy toward yourself be firm rather than soft. Firm mercy says, I will not quit and I will not hide. Firm mercy says, I forgive and I continue. Before we part, ask yourself a few anchoring questions. Who am I becoming when no one is watching? Which habits are steering the ship of my life? What kind of peace do I want to feel by nightfall, and what simple act this morning will earn it? If these questions stir you, let them live on your desk or your mirror. Let them pull you back when you start to wander. Let them shape your days the way a river shapes stone, slowly and completely. If this journey has served you, stay with us. Add your voice below and share one small ritual you will begin tomorrow at first light. Your words might be the spark someone else needs to change course. Subscribe so we can keep building this circle of practice and reflection. We grow stronger together when wisdom is shared, tested, and lived. Thank you for walking this path today. I am grateful for your time and your trust. If you notice a place where my words could be clearer or kinder, tell me in the comments so I can improve the lesson for you and for everyone who will follow. Now close this chapter with a steady breath. Set out your notebook. Set out your water. Set out your intention. Rest well. Rise ready. Begin again. One last reminder before sleep. Peace is not a prize at the end of a perfect day. Peace is a practice you carry from waking to resting, a posture of the heart that you renew with every small choice. Hold that truth tonight and let it carry you into the next dawn. Bonus ritual, the dawn reflection. Before the world fully wakes up, before the noise, before the rush, there's a moment that belongs only to you. The Stoics understood this sacred window of time. It's a chance to pause, to breathe, and to remember one simple truth. You are alive today, and this day will never return. Sit quietly, with no phone, no distractions. Ask yourself, if today were my last, how would I live it? Who would I speak to? What would I create? What battles would I stop fighting, and what dreams would I finally chase? This is not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. When you see life through this lens, small annoyances lose their power, and what truly matters rises to the surface. This dawn reflection is your compass. It's not about perfection, it's about alignment. It reminds you that your time is a gift and that each morning is an invitation to live with courage, integrity, and gratitude. So, take these rituals and make them your own. Build them into your mornings until they become part of your identity. And if you've made it this far, you're not just a listener, you're a seeker. You're someone who chooses action over excuses, growth over comfort. Now, I have a challenge for you. In the comments, share one ritual you'll start tomorrow morning. Not next week. Not someday. Tomorrow. Let's create a community of people committed to living unshakable lives. And if you want to keep walking this path with us, subscribe. Join the Stoic Circle. We've only just begun.